Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into a really short but honestly super profound piece of writing called Munich Memories and the Traveler's Lesson. We're going to jump right into this young traveler's journey, so let's get started.
So, why do we actually leave home? It's a big question, right? Our source text kicks things off by introducing a young traveler who arrives in Munich with a dream. And you know, that word, dream, it's absolutely crucial here. It tells us that this journey, it didn't start at the airport or the train station. It started entirely in the mind. It connects the specific traveler's itch to explore right back to our own universal call to adventure. We don't just pack our bags to exist in a different zip code. We leave because we're looking for something. We are propelled by a vision of what a brand new place might offer us. So let's look at how this traveler's dream turns into reality.
Now, the text details the traveler's first real immersive experiences through a simple daily morning routine. Every morning, instead of running around like crazy between tourist traps, the traveler just walked. They took in the famous streets, the historic buildings, and those incredibly peaceful parks. And honestly, this is a perfectly balanced approach to getting to know a new place. You capture the city's energy, you ground yourself in the architecture, and you still find some quiet space to reflect. Plus, the source really emphasizes that during these morning strolls, the traveler met friendly locals and learned about Munich's rich culture and history. So while the physical beauty of the city was the backdrop, it was that active engagement with the people that really brought the history to life.
If you look closely, the text is actually outlining a mental evolution. Think of it kind of like a micro-hero's journey. Day one is arrival, right? Totally fueled by that initial dream. Then it shifts into the exploring phase on day 3, which is all about the daily walking, observing, and chatting with locals. It's this super active phase where you're basically acting like a sponge, gathering experiences. And finally, by day 7, we hit departing. The text tells us this is defined by leaving with unforgettable memories and a firm promise to return. It's a state of really profound internal growth. I mean, the traveler who arrived is definitely not the same exact person who is leaving. Their whole mindset has shifted because of the deliberate way they chose to interact with their surroundings.
Okay, so here's where things get really interesting. The narrative transitions its focus from just general city exploration, the streets and parks, to a highly specific, totally pivotal moment. It's this intersection of eras. Up until now, the traveler has just been soaking in the overall vibe of Munich, but the deepest cultural realization, it happens in a very grounded, specific setting. The text highlights a visit to a local market, and this acts as a massive turning point in the story. It's where the traveler suddenly grasps the true, complex identity of the city. Literally, it's the exact moment where abstract history and modern everyday life just collide right in front of them.
The source text gets super vivid here, listing out the specific sensory details that completely captivated the traveler at this market. We're talking delicious food, brightly colorful flowers, and beautiful handmade crafts. These 3 elements instantly pull us into that bustling environment, don't they? It takes this abstract idea of culture and grounds it into tangible things that you can actually taste, see, and touch. The text uses these highly sensory details to put us right there in the traveler's shoes, perfectly setting the stage for what triggers their big realization about the city.
So standing right there in the middle of that market, surrounded by all of this, the traveler has an epiphany. The text explicitly states, he realized that Munich was not only a modern city, but also a place where traditions were proudly preserved. And wow, that is a vital observation. It shows this perfect harmony between contemporary life and deeply rooted culture. Munich isn't just some city stuck in the past, right? But it's also not a modern metropolis that just paved over its soul. The source makes it crystal clear that these traditions are proudly preserved. It takes conscious, everyday effort by the people to maintain that delicate balance. And honestly, recognizing that duality, that's the ultimate hallmark of a truly observant traveler.
As we move into the final act of the story, the time actually comes for our traveler to pack up and leave. The source notes that he took unforgettable memories and promised to return one day. But this is way more than just a fond farewell. The text distills the core meaning of the entire trip into an ultimate travel lesson. The physical journey might be ending, but the psychological journey has just culminated in this definitive takeaway. So the departure isn't a sad ending at all. It's this beautiful moment of crystallization where the famous streets, the peaceful parks, the friendly locals, and that vibrant market all just blend together into a single, powerful truth about why we leave home in the first place.
The text explicitly breaks down what Munich taught this young traveler. Basically, every single journey is an opportunity to do 3 distinct things: learn, grow, and discover something new. Learn connects right back to the history and the culture absorbed from those historic buildings and the friendly locals.
Grow speaks to the actual expansion of his own perspective. And discover something new? Well, that perfectly captures the thrill of the unexpected, like suddenly realizing the harmony of modern life and preserved traditions while standing in a busy local market. The text presents these as universal opportunities. They are available to literally anyone who is willing to step outside their comfort zone.
And that brings us to the core moral of our source text. It says, traveling opens your mind and helps you appreciate different cultures and people. Just let that sink in for a second. This is the profound conclusion drawn from everything we've just talked about. That widened perspective, that is the true reward of any journey. It's not just about snapping a bunch of photos of historic buildings. It's about allowing your engagement with different cultures and friendly people to genuinely open your mind. The source places the absolute highest value on this internal transformation and the appreciation for our shared humanity that comes right along with it. Which leaves me with a final thought for you today. Where will your next journey take your mind? Notice I didn't ask where it will take your physical body. Based on the incredibly rich short story we've unpacked today, true travel is an internal expedition just as much as it is an external one. So whether you are actually traveling to Munich, Germany, or you're just exploring a brand new neighborhood in your very own city, I challenge you to apply this traveler's lesson to your own life. Seek out those intersections of history and modern life. Talk to the friendly locals, and most importantly, allow the experience to open your mind. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep exploring, and I'll catch you next time.